It's a good-looking forehand.
Ben Johns, the first server to McGuffin. Clean winner to the corner. How would you describe the differences in style between these two?
Definitely a big contrast in styles. Ben, a lot of times, looks pretty effortless out there. He seems to glide around the court, never in a rush. And Tyson, on the other hand, you can hear his feet moving, you can hear the effort being exerted, and he just moves phenomenally, but it's a completely different style of movement. So I would say that's the biggest contrast. The other thing is, although Tyson plays a great cat and mouse, Ben is known to love that style of point. So like this one right here, usually you're going to be in big trouble as soon as you let Ben anywhere close to the kitchen line. So Tyson historically has had more success against Ben when he's just been really going after the forehand, going after the serve, and trying to shorten the points.
That point looked like trouble for McGuffin. What a finishing touch from Ben Johns. Man, that forehand roll is good.
And Ben looking very sharp early on here with the drops. That's definitely something that we've been working on the practice court in the past month or two. Make sure to sharpen up the drops in transition. And a quick 5-0 lead for Ben, and Tyson is a little disgusted. I think drastically it's more about polishing stuff up and adding a new wrinkle. So that's basically the on-court stuff that we do, and then as I mentioned, he works with the trainer after that pretty much every day, and takes good care of himself in terms of diet and all that stuff. So he has been known to enjoy goldfish off the court, I got to tell you. But
you don't join in on those extra training sessions?
The extra training sessions, I do a separate gym workout than what Ben does. I'm retired from singles, Michelle, so I have an excuse. I don't need to be in as good a shape as I used to be.
Clean winner down the line for Ben Johns. What a start here against Tyson McGuffin, 7-0.
7-0.
How do you even find things to work on when you're the best of the best? It's got to be another level of perfectionism.
There's always something to work on, Michelle. Always something.
Point.
What could it possibly be?
Well, I can't give.
There are no holes in his game.
I can't give away the tiny little holes. I can tell you what Ben's holes are, but I'm not gonna.
Really? There are holes. I don't believe you.
Well, it's all relative.
I don't believe
you.
you.
It's all relative.
There's a good finish from Tyson McGuffin. It's the side out in a must situation. Down 8.
Yeah, but that's a common theme among the top players if they stay on the top. So someone like Annalie, I talked about this earlier, she always seems to be willing to learn and get better. And Ben is definitely of that same sort of mentality where even though he might be on the top in every division and beating people consistently, he knows that if he's not trying to work on the next thing, then people will catch up. So I feel like they both do a really good job.
1-8. Point.
And a point for Tyson McGuffin. He's been known for some heroic comebacks. Maybe not
2-8.
the same opportunity against the #1 Ben Johns.
Side out.
The wrist strength and forearm strength of Ben Johns seems to be a separating factor in his ability to make things look effortless at the kitchen.
Yeah, that patented backhand roll that nobody likes in singles or doubles. Definitely a big advantage in singles when you be that aggressive on low backhands.
Point.
And just roping forehands right now. Not a whole lot you can do when he's peppering the sides of the court with a forehand like that. Looks like Tyson was leaning just a little bit the other way, and that's all it took.
It's just so dominant. 9-2. Just barely getting the let there. What is he doing to command every part of this match right now?
I feel like he's serving pretty aggressively here, and Tyson's hitting some decent returns, but the ball's just sort of sitting in the middle of the court, like that one right there. There's just so much that you can do. Even if that ball goes in and it's relatively deep, he's in good position to play pretty
Timeout,
much any shot he
receiver at
wants.
10-2,
And you
1
see
minute.
Tyson take.
18 PPA Triple Crowns.
Yes, and just
Point,
to put that in
game.
perspective, as he closes out game 1,
Timeout.
the next closest
Change
person
hands,
on the
2
male
minutes.
side had.
Back here in Cincinnati,
Game 2,
Tyson
time in,
McGuffin
0-0.
with a large hill to climb, down a game to the #1 player in the world, Ben Johns. Lost big in game 1.
Side out.
Not a good start for game 2. So yes, as we were mentioning before the break, 18 PPA Triple Crowns. That is an insane number considering the next closest is
0-0.
Tyson McGuffin with 1. Let that moment breathe for a moment.
Point.
There's a lot of versatility in the skill set to be able to win all 3 of those events because they're very distinct from each other and different skill set needed for all of them. And clearly there is some overlap, but you see players have
1-0.
success in 1, 2, but rarely all 3. And it's just, it really can't be overstated how hard that is. So credit
Point.
to Tyson at TOC getting his first Triple Crown. That was quite the run for him.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is when Ben Johns started even a little bit later than some of these pros and was able to elevate his game
2-0.
that much quicker and hold it there at another level than any of the pros at. It's, how does he do that is what I want to know.
Point.
I've been asking myself the same question at times, Michelle.
Do you have the answer? No.
I don't have a definitive answer for you.
It's crazy. Impressive at that.
3-0.
Already off to a 3-0 lead here in game 2.
Point.
Yeah, Ben's dialed in. You don't want to play him in singles when he's in this mode.
Where would you even target if you're Tyson right now? What advice would you give him?
You got to hit some rocket
4-0.
serves and go after the forehands. Maybe cut down the angles by returning middle. But yeah, the way that Ben's hitting the forehand from the middle, that's
I'll
not a safe
recall the
spot
score.
either.
There's no safe spots.
Yeah.
You get in
It's-
as big of a
4-0.
forehand as you want. It seems like Ben is still going to have an answer for it.
Yeah, the backhand is not as threatening on the passing shot like
Point.
the forehand is on that, but you're basically inviting his best drop, which is his backhand cross court, and then he's going to get in his cat and mouse game, which he loves to do. So right now, there aren't a lot of weak spots to target.
Hold on tight.
5-0.
The advice there. A 5-0 lead for Ben Johns in game 2.
Point.
Just missed it, I think. Tyson called it out. Yeah, and Tyson is among the most
Side out.
fair.
That was an out call. Excuse me.
I've played him in singles before, and he is often too generous.
0-5.
Seems like you and Ben Johns are the same in your line calling, or at least you try to be.
Yes, I can count on one hand the amount of times we've ever been overruled by a referee, so you are not wrong about that.
Tough
Side
break
out.
for McGuffin. And a quick hold for Ben Johns. ATP defended
5-0.
effortlessly.
And
Point.
that may have been a time where he was a little too generous
gonna say.
on the line call because from my point of view, that looked like it was long, but clearly he's a little closer to it than we are.
Thought maybe it was
6-0.
long as well. 6-0 lead though for Ben Johns.
Side out.
Paddle throw to the court means timeout, I'm assuming, from
Timeout.
McGuffin.
Timeout. Server at 0-6.
Took a moment to verbalize it.
No, 2
Yeah,
timeouts
we got to get
remaining.
you playing with the right yellow paddle, Michelle. So
The family rivalry
Time in.
with paddles
0-6.
continues, and Tyson McGuffin looking for answers with his Selkirk.
Side out.
and you rarely see Tyson miss a forehand by that far. So clearly he's just out of rhythm, pressing a little bit, and naturally so. I mean, you got
6-0.
Ben playing his A+ game right now, and there's really no room to breathe. That's a problem. Now you're in trouble.
Oh
Point,
boy,
point.
that's the shot.
I've seen that one a few times.
Patented.
Yeah.
What is it that makes it so impressive from how Ben is able to carve that angle out?
It's how long he holds it,
7-0.
because it's not that he can't go other spots. It's that he waits and waits, but he controls it better than anybody when he waits that long. Anyone can wait that long, but if you're inconsistent with it, it doesn't matter. And he consistently pulls off that angle and others from that same position.
Because he could just as easy whip that down the line, correct?
Correct.
0-7. Point.
There's Tyson McGuffin on the board. Better late than never with the Ferrari forehand. That's what you were talking about for Tyson to elevate his
1-7.
game.
Yeah, if he's going to have a chance to climb back in this match, it's got to revolve around that forehand.
Side out.
And then a quick side out for Ben Johns.
Okay. 7-1.
Always one step ahead with where he's hitting the shots.
Side out. One, 7. Point.
Oh, severe angle by Tyson McGuffin, nearly defended by Ben Johns. That's what it will take.
Yeah, and Ben actually had the ATP there, but I think he assumed that Tyson was going to scurry to the open
2-7.
court and cover it, and he wanted to go behind them for the circus pass.
Side out. Okay. 7-2. Point.
It's just such a tough
Wow.
ball, but I think that's all set up from the serve, where Tyson doesn't hit that bad a return. He gives himself a little bit of time to come in, but that backhand that he hits is just sitting there for Ben, and an aggressive
8-2.
inside out forehand roll is not what you want to see coming at you.
Point.
And when two-handed backhands are dropping in like that,
Wow.
you may be off the court very quickly. Let's just put it that way.
That's a new tool in the arsenal. How long has he been implementing the two-handed backhand?
He's been doing it more and more.
9-2.
And certainly it's a shot that we've been working on quite a bit. But in the past year or 2 years, he's been going to that shot more and more.
Side out.
Good hold for McGuffin.
Well, it can only get better from here for Tyson, right? It's 11-2, 9-2. Now's the time to go.
Where do you target the serve for McGuffin?
He moves it around quite
2-9.
well. So forehand, backhand, I don't feel that really matters. You want a little bit of variety.
So more depth than anything else?
Yeah, depth and speed.
Side
And
out.
that pop-up chance smacked home for Ben Johns.
Yeah, and singles, the Ernie is less prevalent. And you got to be sure to hit a winner because you don't have a partner
9-2.
to cover the court, obviously. But there are opportunities that present themselves on the singles court as well.
Point.
Match point for Ben Johns. Almost as quickly as this thing started.
10-2. Side out.
And Ben wanted the exclamation point on that one. And Tyson thought that this match was over there. But he lived to fight another day.
2-10.
Oh, that's
Side
nasty.
out.
Wow. What more can you say about the angles that he can hit
10-2.
and his ability to assess the shots so quickly? Another match point for Ben Johns. Tyson
Side
McGuffin
out.
fends off another, lives to see another day.
And that was about as big a forehand drive as Ben has hit in the match.
2-10.
And Tyson able to poke that one back.
Side out.
Ben Johns gets it right back. Game point, match point number 3.
10-2.
And
Point
there it is.
game match 11-2.